Hi Peaches, it's Shaaba. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for clicking on another video. Why are we doing this today? I don't know, it's so scary. We're looking at men writing women. We haven't done this for a long time. There's a reason for that. I was putting it off. I'm in that weird, bittersweet love-hate stage where because it's been a while, I'm so intrigued. Believe it or not, there have actually been learning moments to come from these videos, from these explorations. I'm ready. I'm not ready. Are you ready? Let's go. So the first one is Eucalyptus by Murray Bale. Eucalyptus is such a cool name for a book. I always find it really funny how there can be such gorgeous imagery, such deep poetry, such meaning, such art. Art, I tell you! And then passages are found on this forum. It was a day humming with heat. Facing the tree the way she faced a long mirror, she took her breasts and lifted them gently from the pull of the earth. Vaguely, she wanted to kiss herself. If the reddish earth, the dead leaves, dry twigs and grass, the ants and the remote and prickly eucalypts had not been uninviting, so unsympathetic, she would have undressed, taking everything off and faced the general warmth and wide openness. She was that age. What? I see. There is no amuse-bouche for the beginning of this video. There are no starters. This is diving deep into the main course. What the frick did we just read? So we've just started and there's somebody with incredibly saggy boobs that are so low they are touching the floor, right? Lifted them gently from the pull of the earth. From the earth or from gravity? I have questions, Murray. And if that is not enough, in the same one paragraph we are bamboozled 2 times further with the fact that there seems to be some form of apocalyptic setting, yet our protagonist, assumed protagonist, is wanting to undress and get naked. And third bamboozlement, specifically because of the age? What is this age in which you wish to grab your boobs from the earth and stand naked in an apocalypse? I'd love to know. I don't think I've reached it yet. Maybe I have. Probably whatever age her breasts were saggy enough she wanted some respite from the under-boob sweat. It comes to many of us, but at different times. I don't know why. Please don't judge me for this. But all of a sudden, I have... Is her name Shelda from Bug Snacks? She's the person that I'm envisaging when I'm reading this passage. I don't get it either. I don't wish to speak to a therapist about what this means about me. We're just going to put that to one side. I have been most of the ages, and that was never one of them. Someone else has said, come back when you hit 83. Everything changes. Well, you know what? If at 83 I wish to unveil my saggy boobs and tan in the sun, then god damn it, that's what I'm gonna do. I must have skipped that age. Maybe. Or maybe Murray's got it right. Maybe this is what women should be doing. This is men writing women ideals. Afloop, a woman doesn't mind dying so much if she knows her body will be preserved. Excuse me, I'm a woman. I tell you, I do mind. I do. Our next passage is from Hiding in Plain Sight by Nuruddin Farah. In her hotel room, Bella takes a shower. I'm trying to channel my inner microwave voice, you know? Drying herself, she stands on the tips of her toes, craning her neck as though to see something beyond the scope of the mirror. She is a dark-eyed beauty with a prominent nose, heavier in the chest than she likes because of the attention it draws from men. That's not funny. That's very profound. This is profound insight from a man writing a woman. We continue. Even though she's overjoyed that she boasts the slimmest of waists for a woman her age and an African's high buttocks. Oh my god. What? Drop dead gorgeous. She also strikes most people as charming, well-read and intelligent. Okay, I get it. Nuruddin, you're trying to paint a gorgeous picture, but why do we need to bring race into this? African's high buttocks. That is the most bizarre thing. In some ways, I can see it as praise, I have to say. And is this Shaaba adding a level of toxic positivity? Quite possibly. Being of Asian and African descent, there are certain things about my body that I've always hated growing up in Western society, like the shape of my nose. I've always been like, oh, I need a nose job. I totally don't need a nose job. My nose is absolutely functional. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't need to have moral value, of beauty, of good, of ugliness, of bad. It's a nose. It needs to smell and breathe and release boogers, and that is about it. And it's true that our like races do determine certain features, you know, like the Asian nose, the African butt. I've always loved my POC booty. It's amazing. I love it, and I love being able to say that I love it because the internal racism growth journey is real, babes, and things like that really help. So when I read this, part of me is just like, this is a very positive thing. At least least it's being said in like an affirmational, positive, rewarding way, but it still doesn't feel right. We need to understand the qualifications of this person. Nuruddin is a Somali novelist and one of the pioneers of African literature. You'll be pleased to know. Well, that is actually really useful to know because I feel like this isn't fantastic. Friends, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying it would be 100 times worse if it was written from a very Western perspective. My female character is too perfect. Quick, give her a flaw. I know, her breasts are too big. Yes, but let us not forget that our man author has also pointed out the burden that men provide with that. They ogle. One has to love how these fictional women manage to have huge boobs and bums and slim, narrow, tiny waists. I mean, it's no wonder when we grow up with men seeing women depicted like this and this. I too, as a woman, grew up with a skewed perspective of what our bodies are supposed to look like. Oh goodness, I'm kind of having fun with this one today. I'm realizing that it's all in the perspective, baby. I'm in a trolling mindset. We can totally go through men writing women. Learning moment, yeah, they're great, but spicy moments, that's where it's at. That's what we're channeling today. Our next submission is from Copper Beach. Ooh, from Jane Ann Krentz, a woman author. She's a woman. She was not tall, no more than 5'4" at most. Ouch, that's my exact height. I mean, yes, I'm not tall, but we're average, dude. That is an average height. Sorry, let's continue. But what there was of her was curvy and feminine and healthy looking in all the right places. She carried herself with the self-confidence of a woman who was accustomed to dealing with her own problems, a woman who was capable of handling a lot of talent. An aura of energy and power brightened the atmosphere around her. Well, of course it would, because she's healthy looking in all the right places. Where is a wrong place to look healthy? I have so many questions. What would unhealthy looking be in all the right places? Where are the right places? Where are the wrong places? Do you think this is like a comment on size? Do you think this is like, she has a flat tummy, so she's healthy looking in that area? Do you know what I mean? Or do you think it's like, she's not yellow and she has all her teeth, so no scurvy? I don't know what this is supposed to mean. Every time I see curves in all the right places, it makes me want to write some Lovecraftian horror. Every time I see curves in all the right places, it makes me think of Meghan Trainor. You know, all the right curves in all the right places. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ah, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ah. That's a throwback, wow. As opposed to the wrong places to look healthy, where would that be? Where would you not want to look healthy? Like, what part of the body would you not want to look healthy? I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm trying so hard to think. Peaches, if you have any suggestions of positive, unhealthy looking, aspirational fashion goals, please let me know. Oh, fashion. Maybe that's what you want. You want a little bit of like a messy hair, you know? My hair doesn't need to look healthy. You want a little laid back, giant, grungy outfit, you know? Give me the oodies. Give me the giant trainers. Give me the non-prepped nails. Give me that look that says, yes, I care for my well-being more than I care about contributing to the billion-dollar fashion industry. But then that's healthy, isn't it? It's also got nothing to do with bodies, to be fair. I'm just so bamboozled that a woman wrote this about another woman. I mean, do you want her to have unhealthy boobs? True, you're right, yes. All that's happening here is a clarification of the truth, which is the character is healthy. Those teeth, still there. That skin, not jaundice. Those boobs, there are no spikes growing out of it. Perfectly healthy. All good. Alright, our next submission is The Broken Eye by Brent Weeks. I don't know why I put so much emphasis on Weeks. Just an unusual surname. So the question is simple, Gavin Guile. I love it. I'm already seeing this as being some like Glass Onion prequel. But I am not a simpleton to be taken in by your breezy charm and a smile that once weakened hymens for 10 leagues round. No, that is so bad. Weakened. I can't say it again. Tell me less than the full truth and you will die. Tell the full truth and I will do all I can to make your victory almost impossible but totally empty. What say you? Man capable of weakening 10 leagues. I just don't understand how things like this get past publishers and editors who are not like, you might want to rethink that. This is absolutely not something that a woman would ever say. This is absolutely not something that a person would ever think. And this is also not a level of attractiveness that men should ever aspire to be. So I don't really understand why you're including this sentence in here. Red line, question mark, track changes, you know? Wait, in the middle of threatening you, I need to stop for a moment to acknowledge how pants-droppingly hot you are. See, it's not even the fact that it's pants-droppingly hot. It's the fact that it's been linked to this idea of virginity. It's so weird. I'm so confused. Why would this ever be seen as a good thing? Do you know what else can break hymens? Tampons. Exercising particularly turbulently, like gymnastics or on particularly turbulent exercise machines. Horses. Horse riding. Yep, there are so many things. And I just love the idea that this comparison is not to do with looks, but more to do with being a horse or a treadmill or a tampon. I'm not a simpleton to be taken in by your breezy charms and a smile that once acted like a tampon for 10 leagues around. Honest to God, the stupidity. I can't even with this video. Secrets of a Hollywood Life by Jen Calonita. Oh, this is a women writing men. This is interesting. Walter leaned her against his parked car. Steamy. His mouth was slightly lopsided, paisley-shaped. His lips unalloyed and full, and he kissed her hard. What is a paisley-shaped mouth? Slightly lopsided, paisley-shaped. Has he had like lip filler? Is that like a Botox situation going wrong? Are we thinking like Popeye? You know, it's like, you know, like bigger on one side. I am thinking of paisley correctly, right? It's an leaf used a lot in South Asian patterns, also very Scottish. Maybe that's what Walter's lips are like, you know, like two paisleys, like this. You know what I mean? It's funny, but it's not damaging, so I don't mind this one. I excuse you. It's the fact that men are so fascinated by boobs that confuses me. Rabbit Hunt by Roth James Wright. Rabbit Hunt is a good name for a book too, dude. I love these book names. Oh, we're now on the second page. That doesn't give a lot of promise. Cindy hadn't had time to put on a bra. You know, if you just stuck to titles, it'd be really good. Cindy and her bra. Rain saturated her blouse, making the sheer fabric practically translucent. Her breasts were clearly visible beneath it as she raced away from the man with the machete in a full sprint. Oh, this isn't calm at all. She's running, and yet during the running, the author just needs you to know how sexy Cindy is. She is in a lot of stress right now. She may not survive, but at least her boobs look good. Her breasts bounced and swayed salaciously as she ran, bobbling around like balloons in a windstorm. What? Looking for all the world like a deliberate attempt to be sexy, even in desperate flight, as if she'd stepped out of a Russ Meyer film. But the last thing she wanted was to be a sexually irresistible corpse. You honestly can't make this up. This wasn't a photo of a book page. Like, folded. I wouldn't believe that this was real. Can you believe that anybody would think in that moment, being chased by someone with a machete, that this would be a thought that ever came into your mind? I don't want to be a sexually irresistible corpse. No, there are many kinds of corpses I wouldn't want to be. To be fair, I wouldn't want to be a corpse in bad underwear, because Lord knows, I wouldn't want to be a corpse in granny pants. I wouldn't want to be a corpse that got caught short in a very unflattering Halloween costume. To be honest, I just wouldn't want to be a corpse. And I can promise you that if any protagonist was in this position, the aim of having boobs that bubbled around like balloons in a windstorm would be very low on their list of priorities. I don't understand how this is real. He hadn't had time to put on underwear. Rain saturated his pants, making a sheer fabric practically translucent. His balls were clearly visible beneath it as he raced away from the woman with a machete. She was so tired of how he described women in his writing, she'd had enough. His balls bounced and swayed salaciously as he ran, bobbling around like tiny turtles in a windstorm, looking for all the world like a deliberate attempt to be sexy, even in desperate flight. The observer was stunned watching his balls, too mesmerized to help him. This is amazing. This is brilliant. Imagine if this was written in a book, how much crap that woman would get. Tiny turtles. That. I don't know what the Emmy equivalent is for writing, but that deserves one. If it doesn't exist, it should be made. This is the hill that I'll die on. Because when women are facing an attacker with a machete, all we think of is, how do my tits look? I'd hate to die a sexy corpse. corpse. That's absolutely the thought process. This is only a single step from she breasted boobily, not the breasted booblies. This has to be a joke. Like, I can't take it seriously. I can't. The sad thing is I really don't think it is. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's move on. Nothing will beat bubbling balloons in a windstorm. Try saying that 3 times really fast. Death's End by Sijin Liu. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Please feel free to correct me in the comments. Cheng Jin stared. The individuals AA indicated had smooth, lovely faces, long hair that draped over their shoulders, slender, soft bodies, as if their bones were made of bananas. Why? Why? Banana bones. Do you know, I prefer banana bones to apple bones. I prefer banana bones to orange bones. I prefer banana bones to many other fruit bones. Banana's are a good choice. I rescind it. This is great writing. Let's continue. Their movements were graceful and gentle, and their voices, carried her by the breeze, were sweet and tender. Of course, the very ripe banana bones. That's what you get from banana bones. Sweet and tender voices. Back in her century, these people would have been considered ultra feminine. Maybe this is what happens in the future. Maybe this is why Shelda was top of mind for me. Bugsnax are sending me a sign. In the year 4 billion, in order to keep the race growing, we fused people with produce, hence banana bones. Makes sense now. Totally makes sense. As if their bones were made of bananas. Who goes soft, slender bodies, banana bones? Make that make sense. What was going through your mind, Sijin? I'd love to know. Banana bones? Well, it wasn't on my bingo card. Mine? No, though. You know what? I'm mad about it. It should have been. Banana bones should be a thing. You know, when a Christmas jumper is so ugly it's cute, this is so ludicrous it actually sounds good. We're bananas in pajamas, are walking down the stairs. Oh wow. That's a throwback. See? Banana bones. That, of course, the 2 banana brothers from that show. You know, back in my century, that was the epitome of ultra feminine. Alright, should we do a couple more? I mean, I'm broken in the way that I normally am when we explore topics of femininity here on the Shaaba channel, but this time, I don't know, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's kind of a bananas. It's making me a bit delulu in the best way. House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. Again, a gorgeous title. So profound, so deep, so dark, so complex. What do you have for us, Mark? She told me this with great glee, her breasts bouncing around like giant Pac-Men. What is this forum though? Like legit, this is ridiculous. I love it. I just find it so funny. Like, I don't even know why my mind goes to this being the point that I want to argue, but I feel the great need to tell you the Pac-Man doesn't bounce. The Pac-Men, there's only one, right? And he doesn't bounce. I get it. Men are exposed to a lot of video games, and maybe there is a joy in being able to connect that with the fantasy of women bouncy boobs. I get that too. But like, we could have gone Mario. Mario's quite bouncy. Or, you know, like, just any of those characters in the basic games that genuinely do have this little idle standing bounce. There is so many directions where this metaphor may have worked. Still would have been kooky, don't get me wrong, but this one's just kooky and factually incorrect. Pac-Man doesn't bounce. Imagine having boobs like Pac-Man. Not boobs like Pac-Man. Pac-Man doesn't have boobs, but like, imagine if Pac-Man was your boob. I'm intrigued. This is about a man slowly descending into madness, so it does fit his character. The whole book is a wild ride. Oh, it still doesn't make sense. Maybe that's the point. Absolutely, says someone else. Loving the book so far. I am intrigued. Mark, what did your protagonist drink, eat, be exposed to in order to see breasts as pixelated yellow yapping blobs? I'm so intrigued. So, not bouncing around at all then. Pac-Man's one of the least bouncy characters I can think of. I'm so glad that someone else could see the flaw in this writing. You know, beyond the fact that men writing women, boobs, blah, 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 but like, Pac-Man doesn't bounce, dude. Yeah, feminism, but Pac-Man doesn't bounce. I cannot think of a character less bouncy than Pac-Man. All he does is slide. He doesn't have the capacity for 3D movement. And they're yellow. I'm not getting over the fact that they're yellow with little faces on them. Not just little faces. Imagine if your boobs like opened up how Pac-Man opens up to reveal like a red tongue and it just like consumed little jelly blobs. Whoa. I mean, I've always thought boobs are powerful, but that is like next level. All right, I think maybe just one more. I don't know if I can take much more than that. Oh, Ooh, this is from a graphic novel. Nice to see some diversity on the Men Writing Women forum. I'm just doing my job. Your job is to continue my dynasty. Didn't you get my note? I quit that for lesbianism. That's kind of badass. This is from Action Comic 896 by Paul Cornell. We've been given some context here as well. Scandal Savage discusses priorities with her father. This is kind of badass though. I love it. Like, one, rejecting the idea of a dynasty. I mean, I feel like you could be a lesbian and still run a dynasty, but I feel like what the dad's trying to say here is like, no, you're supposed to have my babies, and seemingly lesbian babies won't count. IVF, adoption, no. Father Savage is too close-minded for that kind of stuff. But not only is Ms. Scandal rejecting the idea of the dynasty, she also came out to her father with a note that sounds like she was giving notice to leave a job, and that's just quite iconic. Dear Mr. Savage, it is with little regret that I inform you I no longer wish to participate in the ongoing loyalty of your very straight corporation. It's far too cishet for me. I'm a lesbian now. I quit. The end. That's lovely. That's very iconic. For real, no, she ate with that one. A man may have written it, but I'm not mad about it. And we'll end there. What a lovely point to end on. Yay, lesbianism. Did you enjoy today's exploration of men writing women? I think I did. Some of these are particularly scary, you know, but this one wasn't too bad. I'm so wanting to do one of these with Jamie. It'll be so fun to explore that together. What do you think, Peaches? Would you be up for another exploration of men writing women? If so, let me know. Meanwhile, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I'll catch you next time with another video. Be kind and have a great day. Bye.